Let me get my intro going. Beautiful people, what's going on? This is episode 3. I got my man here. I've known him since what do you say, 2004, when we wore 4X t-shirts.
I feel like early. Yeah.
About
03.
2000, yeah, about 2003. G Unit was big, so I've known him since then. We go way back.
G Unit was big, and we were the only cats fucking with Murda.
That's a fact. We're gonna get into that. That's a fact. We're gonna get into that. Even though I switched sides later on, but that's
I know. I remember when you got those G Unit sneakers, bro. I remember when you got the G Unit sneakers.
I never had the wife beater. That was weird. I didn't have that.
Oh right, those fucking. You know what? I had those though.
You had the white beater.
The two exist.
Yeah,
actually,
exactly.
no. You know what? They ain't sponsoring us. We're gonna find.
But I got my man here, Harrison Forbes. Harrison, the official guest of the I Say That to Say This podcast, the first guest, and it's only right. Me and this kid wrote rhymes and composition notebooks.
True story.
Before iPhones.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
Hey, you earned it, kid. But yeah, man, it's a lot of things I wanted to get into. It's a lot of things happening that I felt like I wanted your input on, and I explained it in the first episode. This isn't really this show isn't about interviews, or it isn't about bullshit.
You're tackling some issues.
But it's my own personal diary. I get tired of fucking tweeting about it. 140 characters isn't enough.
No, I mean, I know we briefly kind of covered a few things, but yeah, I mean, we could get right to covering,
Yeah, that's another thing. We're gonna shoot the shit just straight up.
Yeah.
We don't have any.
I mean, we could go straight to tackling systemic racism in the United States if you want to. And we could get to religion and politics after.
Let's do that. They say don't talk politics.
Let's solve racism right now.
Let's get it on right now. So, how do you feel
about abortion?
See, this is exactly where we needed. Well, what's the Supreme Court judge's name? Gorsuch or some shit? Abortion's done, so
some shit.
Go stock up on your Plan Bs, people.
Or coat hangers.
Definitely. See, there you go with the shit.
Can't outlaw those.
You can't make this shit up, I tell you. But no, in all seriousness. So, how long you been doing music?
14 years now. I mean, shit.
That's about right.
We started, yeah.
I was 16, I think, when I met you. I met you July 4th on top of High Street, and you were like, "Yo, my uncle's having a fireworks show," and I was like, "All right, bet." And
yeah,
it was history from there. And to give you to jump forward a little, this fucking guy, your uncle. I won't say his name. I don't know, but but your uncle. See, the story I'm about to tell, I can't.
No, it's cool.
I'm in your uncle's house. I don't know if we stayed the night. I don't know, but I remember being over there the next day after the fireworks show. I'm in your uncle's spare bedroom. I picked the shit up, and I'm like, "Oh shit, a grenade!" I'm fucking around with it, and your dad's like, "No!" And I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "It's live." And I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" And your uncle looked at me and he was sweating bullets. And I'm like, "Yo, you have a live fucking grenade? Do you remember that shit?" Like that was one of the craziest things in my life. Like I think about that moment all the time. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And from that moment, I'm like, "Yo, this kid is my type of guy. Like I want to hang out with this dude."
Shit.
So I remember then, very young. You first of all, at that time, I don't know. Maybe I was a naive kid, or I didn't have cool enough friends, but you were the first person I saw with the Mac computer for music, and I'm like, "Yo, these exist." Like it wasn't YouTube videos, it wasn't all this shit around, so we weren't exposed to a lot of things.
Yeah,
we are now.
Fucking Macs were only for Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail.
That's what I'm saying. So I saw that shit, and I remember when I first went to your house, I saw it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is real. All right, this guy's serious about his shit."
Yeah,
and from there, we wrote some rhymes. Not, I don't know what the fuck goes on.
Although we spent hours just literally walking around. I'm gonna say walking around because that's what I'm not walking around, and we, just ciphering.
Yeah, pretty. I forgot about that. I forgot about that shit. I used to rap
like
for the people
line
who
for
don't know.
line.
I used to. I still got bars. Don't get it fucked up. I still got bars, but I'm retired.
Retired. Come on, man. Acting like you're Big
But
Tigger right now.
I
Like,
am. That's
listen, man.
you know what? That's what
live
my
from the
career would have been
basement.
like. I would
No,
have been like Big Tigger.
Stop.
Just on the low, like
Stop.
just every once in a while, I
Stop
throw
that.
out a jab. You're like, oh shit, all right, he can do it. But in all seriousness, so we used to just ride it. I forgot about that, going bar for bar. Neither one of us fucking drove. We were 15, 16, just line for line, walking the back streets of Great Neck. And we wrote some rhymes. I don't know how you pulled it together. We were, you're a year younger than me, right? I'm 20.
Like a year and a half.
I'm 28.
Year and a half.
Yeah, you're born in January. So I don't know how he did it at 16. Well, I was 16. He was 14, just about to be 15, maybe. I came to his crib one day. Do we have? I think I just got a cell phone. I know I'm dating myself at this point, but fuck it. I just got a cell phone.
And your ringtone was at T.I. Money, house,
Wow.
cars, and clothes.
This guy's memory is amazing because that's a true story, and that's not some bullshit he just made up. Like that just bugged me out. Like you're absolutely right.
I don't even listen to T.I. like that.
Yeah,
to
that's
know that.
crazy. You're 100% right. That's crazy.
No disrespect to Tip though. He does his thing.
Yeah, I don't like that king shit. We're gonna talk about that when I meet him at the Grammys eventually. We're gonna have to rock, paper, scissors for that king shit. Yeah, as long as he's king of the South, then he's
I was gonna say there's like, you know what I mean? There's a border, you know?
True.
There's definitely a border,
people.
and there's such a like
sip my drink in the microphone. I told my wife I wasn't gonna do that, but I lied.
And there's such a difference too, mentality wise, between, like geographically,
Sure.
You can tell when somebody's from the South.
Yeah,
you can tell when someone's from the West Coast.
He that's true. I'm from Long Island, and I'm gonna rep Long Island strong. People say they're from New York, and that makes you wonder when you meet a motherfucker from Atlanta and you say New York, they're thinking skyscrapers. I didn't see a building until I was 17, so let's get that established. But what was I saying? So I don't know how you did it. That's why this is, by the way, the I Say That to Say This podcast, because we gotta make a whole fucking point before we get to it. But
Right.
I go to your house. I think I walk there, go upstairs. You had on the flight jacket with the orange on the inside, and you were like, "Yo, I got us a studio."
Ava Rex.
That's a fact. You're like, "Yo, I got us a studio," and I'm like, "All right, that's cool." You know what I mean? When we going? Tomorrow. Boom. So I stayed the night at your house. Wake up the next morning. Get in your dad's. You know what? Your mom just got the Armada. Do you remember that shit?
My dad had the Volkswagen.
Yeah, right. Your mom got the Armada.
Yep.
We packed into
piece
that
of
shit. We packed into the.
Shout out to Nissan with the sponsorship.
Yeah, word up. There goes that shit. Hey, listen, man. If they took it from Bill O'Reilly, I'll take it. Bring it on. But we go over to the studio, and I'm like, that's weird. I mean, we get in.
Mind you, yeah, to the listeners, the studio is in
Hollis, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's I don't want to say the hood because it's kind of like it's disrespectful. It's not. It's
That's
like
what
it's
the
a
fuck
nice.
it is.
Nah.
Yeah,
You know
fuck
what,
the listeners,
bro? Well, you know what? You know what? For my sake, I live
true,
like
true,
a couple blocks from there
Okay,
now.
true.
So let's say it's not the hood.
They have a bodega. You can go and get 2 cigarettes. So anywhere you can go and get 2 cigarettes and take out $10 from the ATM.
With a tax stamp from a different state? Yeah. No doubt.
So I look and I'm like, where the fuck are we? You know what I mean? So we get in. I look at a guy and I'm like, oh shit, that's Black Child. And you say to me, yo, this is a Murda Inc. studio. And I'm like, how the at the time, and now that I'm old, I appreciate shit like that. But at the time, it was like, there was no Instagram. There was none of this bullshit. To actually see what you would call a celebrity at the time was like, whoa.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and to the listeners, so this is like, I mean, okay, so this neighborhood is close to where I grew up. I grew up not far from Hollis at all. And this is 190 in Jamaica Ave. and Black Child's in there. And now, if you don't know Black Child from anything else, and I apologize to Black Child for fucking putting him on Front Street for this, but he's the dude that stabbed 50 Cent. So if you don't know him, allegedly, the lights were out. The lights were out. Nobody knows.
But yeah, so I saw him and I'm like, oh shit. And this is at this point, yeah, I'm not sure the exact year, but at this point, it's the height of the beef. It's the
height of the beef. The indictment was like just underway. I feel like
there was a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
So I saw him and I'm like, whoa. This is real. I'm like, yo, I don't know how this fucking guy did it, but he did it. So we go in. And you know what? To sidebar a little bit, he was doing an interview. And I'll say 15 years, I guess, at this point. Well, not 15 years, 13 years at this point. I've been trying to find that interview because we sat in on an interview with, do you remember that shit? We sat in on an interview.
Bro, I'll tell you right now, I did an interview for the same film.
Wow.
It's called Rap Sheets, Hip Hop and the Cops. If you haven't seen it, go watch that shit.
Yeah, get your plugs on, dude. Definitely plug that. Yeah, I have to find that because I always wondered about it. I'm like, I saw him doing it, and I'm like, shit, I was there. You know what I mean? So I forget about it every now and then, but every time Murda Inc comes up, I think about it, and I'm like, oh shit,
yeah,
like wow, that's crazy. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of a backstory on this guy's roots and where he comes from. So at that point, when you pulled those strings together, I knew that something was going to come of it. You know what I mean? So I'll bring us up to speed. From there, where did you what did you see for your career? Did Ja Rule influence you at all, or did it just happen that way?
You know what? It wasn't so much like I wanted to like be around the people that influence me, because it's like I take from, honestly, okay, if I'm to be completely honest, it's like I draw the most inspiration from like the most random eclectic fucking shit. So it wasn't so much that as it was I need to surround myself with people that are doing shit. And like at fucking what, 13, 14, yeah. I didn't know how else to do that, because what's everybody else doing? They're going to school and fucking learning how to finger a bitch for the first time. Like, what? I don't know what. Like,
true. And that's a good point you bring up. There was a shooting in San Bernardino, California today. My condolences to everybody there. But I remember. I saw a little after that, the Ja Rule thing. I came to your house, months or whatever later. I don't know, on a Wednesday night, and I'm like, yo, man, all right. We chopped it up. We probably wrote something or just fucked around. I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna go. We got school tomorrow. And you're like, yeah, about that. You know what I mean? And you told me, you were like, yo, I'm taking this music thing. I'm taking it all the way, man. And I'm like, what do you mean? And you were like, yo, I'm done with school, man. Fuck it. And I'm like, you crazy? You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I'm like, this guy's out of his mind, But if I knew then what I know now, I would have been like, fuck it, let's do it together. But I think that's where that point was, where our friendship kind of took two different paths. Because that same year I was on the football team.
Yeah, you were doing it, man.
I try,
you were doing it, bro. You were.
But so I was on the football team, and you were just grinding out to a music. Every time I hit you, you'd be recording, writing. And I remember thinking, I'm like, shit, he's gonna do it. He's gonna pop. You know what I mean? And we had a little bit of a hiatus during that time. So from, I'll say, like, how did you convince your parents that you were gonna quit school?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, and I feel like, looking back on it, if it that's one of my biggest regrets, where I literally, there's no way possible that I could make that up, because I imagine now, not that I have kids, but I can't even fathom like how to deal with such defiance, because it was
Sure.
literally like I made up my mind, and it was just, it's like, yeah, no, I understand, like, you're my parental units, and this is truancy and everything like that, but like
How old were you?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right after I turned 15. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm done with this. So, I don't know what else to tell you. And no, I feel terrible about that because,
So you regret it.
I don't regret it, but I feel terrible for what I put my parents through.
Okay, gotcha.
I wish that I was at the time better able to articulate kind of what it was I wanted to do, and my reasoning for
Okay,
that. But
gotcha.
instead I was just way too hard-headed and just like, nope, fuck this. I'm done. I am done. There's no way you're getting me to go back. And when they threatened, to take everything away, I was like, yo, I will leave and not come back.
Yeah,
Try
sure,
me.
sure.
You know what I mean? And that was the issue, is like, I'm working with all people so much older than me at the time, that it's like I'm out till fucking 4 or 5 in the morning, and it's
Yeah.
like my parents are in such a gray area, because it's like, of course, under any other circumstance, like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not home by 11 or whatever it was. But with this, it's like, oh, no, I'm working. I'm going to be working late. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But meanwhile, up in the studio, there's like, I mean, I'm not even going to get into like some of the shit that goes on, but I was like certainly exposed to a lot.
I think see, it's funny you say that. I know it's easy to say now, but I think when my son gets to a certain age, and you say it was the same situation. He was like, yo, I want to quit school. I want to pursue music. I would let him. You know what I mean? But I feel like I would sit down. What I wish my dad did with me, I would do for him. I'd sit down and explain. It's hard to understand at that age, but I'd explain, look, man, life is hard. So if you're serious about doing this music thing, you have to do it. You have to commit yourself to it. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be ups and downs, but if you stick with it, something will come of it. You know what I mean? So you look back, and it probably, it's obvious, the time of it, it was obviously unheard of.
Right. And the other thing is, now I also feel like, as good as it is to have that conversation with a kid, to kind of explain, hey, look, these are the implications of your actions. It's also, I realize now that there's so much benefit to being completely fucking clueless to the odds against you. You know what I mean?
True.
Because it's like that. What's that quote about the bumblebee, where it's like, aerodynamically, a bumblebee shouldn't be able to fly, given like the size of its wings to the like ratio wise to its body
Right.
size or whatever. But the bumblebee doesn't know that, so it flies anyway.
That's some deep shit. Follow your dreams, kids.
Right? But I don't. I think there's definitely something. There's definitely something to that, and I feel like inherently, as you get older, you're kind of influenced more by society, and kind of almost like lean more towards conformity, because you like, I feel like everyone kind of develops this like inherent self-doubt, where it's like, ooh, like the second you do something that's like not the
True.
norm, it's like it's strange, which is literally like why you're one of my only friends. It's like, in all honesty, look, well, actually, let me clarify this before I say what I want to say. Let me say this to say that.
Yeah, there you go. See, it's a thing. It's a ring to it.
I do not look down upon anyone that works a 9 to 5. I understand the grind. I understand how people are caught up where you have fixed expenses, and you
Sure.
need to work, and you need the financial security, of that kind of job. But at the same time, I can't surround myself with people that aren't spending their days doing what the fuck they want to do. Straight up, because
Gotcha.
life is too short to not.
Gotcha.
And it's like I'm sure you feel the same way.
100%,
I'd rather
110%.
gamble it all for something that I literally feel like is not my choice. Because if I had a choice, I would do something else.
Sure.
This business is so shitty, bro. It's the worst.
I get it.
You know,
and it's funny you say that. I spoke about that in the last episode. I was saying that you have to be true to yourself. You know what I mean? You got to find what makes you happy. Find your happy. And at one point, people said that fucking Walt Disney was out of his mind. You know what I mean?
He was a little anti-Semitic.
He was fucking he had some shit with him.
He didn't like blacks or Jews. Let's just get that out of the way. That's
so we
listen,
couldn't work for him. But I respect what he did. You know what I mean?
Listen, black kids and Jews, Mickey Mouse doesn't love you. All right? No love.
No, in all seriousness, he fucking like at one point with his thing, they said it was crazy, and I'm like, yo, if that's what you want to do, if whatever you're true to, whatever makes you happy, go for it. Because I'm sure the same parents that didn't like Snoop in the '90s, they like him and Martha Stewart now. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to let life happen to you. So I get that 9 to 5 bubble. I've done it. I've been working for, I don't know.
Dude, it's a hamster wheel. It's
sure,
bad.
sure.
Yeah.
The rat race they call it. That's from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki is his name. You know, now that I'm a podcaster, I got to read books and shit to quote. But in all seriousness, I totally get it. And now, you know, that I worked for however long, and every day was the same. And I like the pressure of owning my own business now and waking up and knowing that nobody's going to do this shit for you. You know what I mean? I wake up and every decision is on me.
And you got to treat every check like it might be your last.
Sure.
You know, like you don't know when the next is coming. And there's such anxiety involved with that. But there's also like I said, when you are passionate, it's such a double-edged sword. It's
Sure.
It's such a blessing to have a passion. There's so many people that are literally, you know, middle-aged or even further that don't even know what they want to do in life. Like they haven't figured it out yet. You know what I mean?
It never ends.
Right. And I'm not looking down on that. So like I'm saying, like I'm so blessed to know at such an early age like what I'm passionate about. But the double-edged sword is that I literally have no other choice. I've worked other jobs. Like I'm not like I am literally unemployable in every fucking in every facet besides what I do.
So you've done both. So after, you know what I mean? So you've been in music. What made you decide to get a job? Did you feel like it wasn't? Did you feel like maybe this music thing isn't working, or was it?
No, you know what? It was a matter of playing it safe. The girl I was with at the time, I'd been with for a little while, and I felt like, you know what? Maybe like the financial security is good for us. Because she wasn't making any fucking money. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I can do both, or like maybe I should just, you know, kind of treat this as like a side gig where I make money. And you know what? For the longest time,
as a side gig.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. And so, so I worked as a salesman for a hard drive company, which I did quite well at. Like like not to toot my own horn, but I'm a good fucking salesman. But but I'm miserable when I'm not doing what I love, and really what woke me up to that, you know, not to like segue into this, but
sure.
Look, after Murda got indicted and kind of fell apart. Like,
Murda Inc. for you young kids. I know they're known as just Inc. now, but
right.
At one point they were Murda Inc. But
yeah,
please
that's
go ahead.
Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, Ashanti, Cadillac Todd, look them up.
Fuck Cadillac Ty. Are you serious? Did you just really say his name?
You know, wait, hold up. Wait, on a side note, do you know what's fucked up? All right, well, wait, first off, from what I've heard, his son is an amazing football player, like maybe NFL quality.
Really?
But okay, this is just word in the barbershop, but I'm just saying though, no disrespect, Cadillac Top, but everybody calls that motherfucking Nissan Top because he drives a Nissan.
Ooh, damn,
dirty,
Holmes.
dirty.
That's why
they did him dirty.
That's fucked up. See, but I think Black Child, what does he do? He's a car salesman, right? You gotta
no,
like his man.
he did that. He did that for a minute, but he's actually been working. Like Irv has been getting him like a bunch of work with BET, like doing a bunch of different shit, like
good.
And also independent movies. He just did some shit with what's that guy? That African Michael Blackson.
Okay, I can't get jiggy with this shit.
Yeah. That.
All right. So
so no, he stays working. Like, yeah, he definitely like, you know, knows how to fucking grind it out when he has to, but no, he's been doing like acting and music or whatever.
Okay. But you were saying about after they got indicted.
Right. So after they got indicted, I was like, you know what? Because I had gotten like a little bit of attention as far as like publicity goes, like a newspaper article here and there, and I didn't really know, like I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And so after that totally like fell on its face because I didn't have anything in order. Like I was like doing these interviews for fucking. No, you're good. I was doing these interviews with newspapers, and you know, I didn't even have anything released yet. I didn't have anything for people to see, nothing. So like I just totally had my shit ass backwards. And so after that, and after the Inc got indicted and everything, I figured, you know what? I figured I'm gonna be the puppeteer. I'll produce artists. And I'll stay behind the scenes because I don't even know if I want to be like scrutinized on a certain level, especially with the, I don't know, the stigma that still surrounds like white hip hop artists. And by saying that, do not mistake me for grouping myself with any other white hip hop artists. Like, you guys can go fuck yourselves. I'm just saying there's a certain stigma.
Okay. Now let's get into that a little bit. How do you feel? Do you feel like you're do you feel like you get disrespected as far as being a white rapper?
No, I don't.
Because you have bars. See, we got to give them at the end of this. We'll give you, we'll do your plugs and we'll give people somewhere to find your music because you got to. His shit is like no other. And I'm not just saying that because he's my good friends. Because if he was trash, I would tell him. And as a good friend, when your friends are terrible rappers, you need to tell them because this is what fucking
good friends do.
But this was fucking the market up that your friends are co-signing bullshit because they don't want to tell their friends.
That's right.
So if he was trash, I'd tell you and I'd tell him. Yeah. But your sound is different. It's definitely the lyrics are 90s. And you make your own beats, so you produce your own shit. You know what I'm saying? So so your whole, the sound you're looking for and the music, the track always matches up with your lyrics. So it's definitely a unique quality. And I feel like and the
shit I'm doing with Olive too is on some way other shit.
Sure, and that's talent though. You can't to mix like a pop sound and not this. It's just different. Not this bullshit you hear, not this Z100 rap.
I know it sounds so cliche to
be
like,
right.
You can't describe it.
Right, sure. You know what I mean. So if you take a moment and check out Harrison Forbes, check out his music, you'll hear it for yourself and you'll be like, oh shit, they were right. They had a point. But anyway, do you feel like something's holding you? I remember you telling me that a record executive, we won't say which label, told you Why don't you rap about what white kids rap about?
Yeah, this is true, and yeah, it's probably best to not mention names, but yeah, initially I want to say like yeah, I was 14 or 15, and I was offered a deal contingent with a major record label, contingent upon basically working with this A&R that had the idea that I should only rap about what white suburban kids rap about. And like the issue with that was like I hang out with like real fucking I don't like, and it's not like, oh, I'm from the suburbs, but like I fucking like no, I'm from Queens, like a real mixed bag fucking area of Queens, and that's like that's what I've known growing up when I was
Sure.
And then so it's like to come from hanging out with for lack of a better word more, let's say more street savvy folks,
Sure.
like to hearing like, oh no, you need to like rap about, you need to talk about what white kids are doing. You like make some songs about going to the mall. And I'm just like, yo, bro, I don't go to the mall. Like
sure.
I go to the Ave, bro. Like I go to the Coliseum.
That's a fact.
Like
that's a fact. I could personally vouch for that. But you know what's crazy about that? And we joked, in the opening to this shit about race relations. We it was funny, but in all seriousness, I want to word this the right way. I'm from Manhasset, as you know, obviously, Long Island. So when I go into I play football with touch football. I don't tackle anymore. Please don't take me to the ground. But with dudes from the boroughs, and I'll be like, yo, and I'll say something. They're like, oh, Bo, you white, you don't care. And I'm like, yo, bro, why? Because I speak well, you know what I'm saying? And there's something to that, and I'm not saying it's the same thing.
No, there's a racist connotation when people are like, well, all right.
You can get pulled over and start talking shit.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I gotta have one hand through the fucking sunroof.
This is true. This is true. Okay, well, first off, there's a racist connotation when someone's like referring to a black person, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? Well, he's pretty well spoken." It's
sure.
like, what do you mean, pretty well spoken for what?
Sure,
for a human being?
Right.
Like,
no, I get it.
Like, is this so? There's definitely a racist connotation to that. But I mean, yo, remember like in the fucking in the PJs projects for you listeners.
They don't know anything about that. These
come
people
on.
come from good
like,
homes.
Yo,
man.
Toddy, who played lacrosse.
Yeah, right.
Like
that's a fact.
Dude, he was known as White Toddy.
True.
This kid is a black. He's not even half white. He's not a quarter white or an eighth white. He's black. But he was known as White Toddy because he played lacrosse and hung out with all the Irish kids.
True, that's a fact. But even the world, Twitter world, or the social media world knows me as King Bo Christ. So nice you could say it twice. But my name is Carlton. So if I call on the phone, like, hi, how you doing? This is Carlton. I'm calling in. People, I don't know what the fuck they're expecting, but when I walk in the door to wherever I just called, they're like, oh, and I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? So there's something to that. Like there's a thing to that
Right.
people feel like they just, I guess it's
there's
those preconceived notions, whatever they think, they
there's
see
that,
you.
and also the last name. I'm not gonna fucking give away your last name, but it starts with a Mick.
Oh,
which is like
we can say it.
Okay.
It's an Irishman's.
Yeah.
I don't,
bro. So
I don't think I have any warrants.
Yeah. All right. So hey, if you want to throw it out there, but I'm just saying this starts with a Mick. So
sure.
When,
that makes sense.
Yeah. When
you see it on paper,
exactly.
They assume one thing. But do you what we were saying? Do you feel like when he told you that's what you're not I don't want to say you're not a regular white guy because you're you. I just know you as you, and I'm not. I'm not gonna get into that bullshit. Like I don't see color. Like I obviously know he's fucking white.
Or like, what do you mean regular white guy?
Exactly.
No. There's stereotypes and they're fairly accurate, and you could fucking get mad at me for saying that. But
I love grape soda for the record. I don't like watermelon. I don't do none of that shit. But I love grape soda. Who doesn't?
Wait,
even white people love.
You really
grape
don't
soda.
like watermelon?
No, bro.
Who doesn't like watermelon?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You might eat more watermelon than me. I don't.
I mean,
I can't even tell you the last time I had a piece
I don't
of
know
watermelon.
anyone that doesn't like watermelon.
Hey, listen, that's
white or black or whatever.
That's my whole point. That you never fucking know.
Damn.
You should see his face. He really just learned something about me. He just shook his head at me like, word? That's crazy.
I mean, to know you this long, like this is like.
But I think it's that hip hop influence. So I grew up in a good neighborhood, nothing, but that hip hop influence, I can go to any neighborhood and they fuck with me. You know what I mean? I've been.
Although my bike got stolen from your crib, for the record.
That's a true story. What was that? Udale Drive?
Yeah.
Damn.
I rode my bike to your house.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a true story. I forgot about that.
We're gonna take that out. We're
gonna fucking leave it. Build the wall. No, I'm just playing.
Oh my God.
So, but
I rode my bike to your house, and somebody stole that shit.
But it's that. So we come from a good neighborhood, but like I was saying, I can go anywhere and they fuck with me after 2 minutes anywhere I am. I although I will say something about I want to word this right because once it's out there, it's out there, and they chop and screw.
What are you
shit.
Concerned about?
I'm just saying, I don't fuck up my Pepsi deal.
I was just gonna
they gotta bounce back. See, Pepsi gotta bounce back. They fucked up with which one was that? Kendall, Kylie, one of the Jenners.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she's got a dick.
Apparently.
Could be.
It runs in the family. Could be.
She sure doesn't have an ass. So
you call. They can get one. No, the Kardashians get one, bro. I don't know. They have Amazon ass shipping. It comes right to the house in 2 days. Next time you see them, boom, it's on there. But I
don't know why she's not on a subscription with that shit.
I went to a Spanish barbershop, right? I pre-recorded an episode about this. It's like I don't know, fucking episode.
Where is
18
Where
on
is
my.
Tell me Manor Haven.
And Manor Haven.
Of course, Manor Haven.
Washington.
Don't say Port Washington.
Yeah, Manor Haven. Right.
Be real.
So,
okay,
bro, I'm going.
Section 8's in Manor Haven.
I see. At this point, when they hear that, I'll be getting a text like, "Oh, you're swiping open the iPhone now." You know what I'm saying? So,
wait, hold on. I thought the rules are that if it's a podcast with a black and a white guy, that anything goes.
No, man,
nothing's racist.
Listen, the world
this isn't how it works.
They're fucking around over Pepsi. They made Pepsi take down a commercial. This shit is powerful.
but that
it's powerful.
I'm not offended by anything, but that commercial, bro. That commercial.
We're getting to that in 2 seconds because we're gonna that'll segue to my next point. We don't have any outlines. We just going, baby. We just freestyling. 21 Savage mode. But anyway, so I'm in Manor Haven. I have a shaved head, obviously. So I was sitting. It was before my boy's son's first birthday. I'm like, let me go down here and get a fucking
cholo chop.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, I just need my. We keeping all this shit. I just need my shit lined up. Let me go in there, bro. I walk in, and like I said, I'm good in any neighborhood. I don't give a fuck where I don't go to. I wouldn't go into like a white barbershop because I don't know how that would go. Like I don't know what happens there. Like a white guy can go to a black barbershop, but I don't know if I can go to a white barber. I don't know if how that works.
You know what? No. I'm gonna say no. Like I've gone to a lot more black barbershops than white barbershops, and
the line is different. The line that lineup is different. You can't get that in a white barbershop.
I was just gonna say that's the only thing I get in a black barbershop. I'll say do a tape up, do a lineup.
Right. They don't have any gel. Because I don't think they have gel.
Well, fuck the gel. I don't need the gel. The thing is like they don't know how to handle and cut the long hair. Like Bro, I've never seen a pair of scissors in a black barbershop. I'm sorry. I've never seen it.
Wow. You know what's crazy? I used to have good waves. I used to have really nice waves. They fuck around with it. I'm gonna tell you the crazy shit about scissors in a black barbershop. They kind of go across your head, but it doesn't cut anything. Like they just do it for the vanity.
It's the comb scissors.
It's the comb scissors. Right. They do it for
I know what that shit is.
Okay,
yeah.
so you know. So anyway, I walk in. I'm like, I just need a line, whatever. No one's even looking at me, paying any mind. So I'm like, oh shit, all right, this is strange. I walk back in. I wasn't feeling the vibe. I'm big on energy. So the energy was just a little off, right? This is the first time.
Manor Haven?
Manor Haven, next to the Dunkin' Donuts.
Spanish barbershop.
Spanish barbershop.
Okay.
So I walk in. We love Spanish people, by the way. Just throwing that out there. See, that was the shit. Now that I said it, I realized how it sounds. It's like, I have a black friend. That's how that sounds. But anyway, so I walk in. I walk in. We keeping all this shit tonight. That's a fact. We keeping all this shit. So I walk in. Like I said, whatever. So I see the first guy, the guy in the chair. He's cutting. He's shaving the guy's head. So I'm like, all right, shit. He has
straight razor.
Straight razor. So that's why I'm like, all right, shit. He got a bald guy. I can fuck with this guy because I'm bald. You know, the hard part's already done. I see what he could do. So I'm like, yo, man, how many you got? The fucking guy in the chair turns around. And he's like 18. So I'm like,
shut up.
No, this is a true story. So I'm like, okay, like what? You know what I'm saying? So I say to the barber again, I'm like, how many you got? The guy in the chair looks at me, he's like, 18. And I'm like, bro, at this point in my life, I'm so patient with people. Like the pre-marriage Bo would have been like, yo, I'm not fucking talking to you. Mind your business before something happens to you. But at this point, I'm just looking at him like, what, bro, what? So I'm like, oh yeah, 18, where are they? And he was like outside in the back smoking blunts. Yeah, that really happened to me. This is a true story. So I was like, oh, like I like out loud was like, oh, right. So I look at him and I was just like, he's like, you want to join him? And I was like,
oh shit.
Yeah, tell me about it. So I'm like,
talk about racism.
So I'm like, oh,
I wasn't even expecting that they'd be out back smoking a blunt. Like some Spanish kids. I thought he was gonna open the cabinet like Indian in the cupboard. Fucking 20 people were just gonna file out. Like, goddamn, you fucking.
So I just look at him and I'm like, oh. So the barber looks at me and he's like, oh, I got two, man. And I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm straight. Thank you. So I walk out of the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying all that to say that was the only time my bad. That was the only time I felt like I didn't feel the love. We gonna have to edit the people that was in your car. That's gonna fuck up.
I could get you a new cord.
No, I'm good.
Right.
But that was the only time that I was just like, whoa. Like that really just happened. I'm 28 years. This was March 17th. That's the exact day. This is St. Patrick's Day, obviously, and my boy's son's birthday. Mm-hmm. But that was the first time in my life I've experienced like not being welcome somewhere. As far as I can remember, and I have a pretty good memory. I pride myself on my memory. That's the only time I've ever felt not welcome somewhere. Like, oh. And I sat so when after that shit happened, I was like, nah, I'm straight, bro. I was walking out and I'm like, you know, like my part of my brain is like, fuck him up. The other part of my brain is like, it's not worth it, man. He's miserable. Let him live in his own skin. Sat in the car. I sat in the car for like 15 minutes with the keys in my hand, like not even in the ignition. Like, yo, did that just happen to me? Like, that's fucking crazy. And I was really like, I'm like, damn, like that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not trying to get all deep with it, but I was really like, that was the only, I'm like, yo, you know, it was like not a humbling moment, but I'm like, damn, you know, I see like, that's what we're going to get into that Pepsi shit, but I see like a Black Lives Matter protest and all that other shit. And I'm like, you know, I relate to it, but I don't see it. You know, I'm black, obviously. I've been black my whole life. My mom is black. You know, my son is black. But
sure, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
but that was the first time. Yeah, right. Okay, Carlton. But that was the first time, like, I felt racism. And I'm like, yo, this shit, it was like, wow, like, yeah, okay, it's still around. I'm like, Trump got the game all fucked up, man.
So you're saying build that wall?
Build the wall, man. How much they paying? Listen, man. We entrepreneurs in here. How much is the contract? Build the fucking wall.
I mean, it's the lowest bid. That's how much the contract is.
I saw what's that shit with the gun runners? What's that movie with the gun runners where they're bidding on government contracts? I forget what it's called. But
there's a few, like something dogs, war dogs.
Yeah, there you go, war dogs.
There's the one with Nicolas Cage.
Lord of Guns or whatever. Jonah Hill, whatever that is. You saw they were taking the, that's how they were making all that money.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, Trump, we'll do it for. Call us. Go to kingbochrist.com. Sign up to my email list, Mr. Trump. And I'll work it out for you.
$825
in a pack of Coronas, and we'll make it happen for you. We'll build that fucking wall
and some chicharron.
Yeah, we'll build that fucking wall and open up a barbershop with it.
That's
but anyway,
right. And a horchata stand.
So to the Black Lives Matter protests. This is gonna be a long ass podcast. I hope you're not tired, because we got a lot of shit to talk about.
Bro,
where are the drugs?
Yo, I'm not gonna stop till we solve the world problems.
I might have found our host, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. This is a good time. I don't know if you guys are having fun.
And if you're looking for the drugs, hey, we can shut the mics off first.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to tell you.
Just kidding.
We're gonna get into that, yo. When I'm old, I'm gonna do drugs. Is
that what you're waiting for?
Yeah. For the record, I just started smoking weed. I don't even know if I should say that, but it's my fucking show. I say what I want.
Of course
I just started smoking weed
that.
like full time, like a year and a half ago.
What's full time?
Like 3 times a week. Oh, I guess that wouldn't be full. So I'll say part time. That's full time for me.
Full time for you.
But I know that for regular people, but like 3 times a week. Because I've never like coke and all that other shit. I've never tried any of those drugs. But when I'm old, really, true story. I'd sit under a fucking polygraph for that. I'm proud of it.
No coke, no pills, no fucking.
When I broke my hand, I took I think it was Vicodin. I think, but that doesn't. It was actually prescribed to
injury.
Right, it was actually prescribed.
Like it was actually for pain.
Actually for pain. So I've never.
Jesus.
I just started drinking at 22. I didn't drink. But when I'm old, I promise I'm gonna do Molly. I don't want to do like heroin. I don't want to inject myself with anything. I don't want to snort anything or shoot anything. But when I'm old, it's on, baby. And I just want that. I want that on record now. Like I said, this is my personal diary, and I want you to look back in 2088 and be like, "Oh shit, he was serious. This guy's a junkie, like Ozzy Osbourne."
Is that what it is, though? You know what I mean? Like, okay, look, I have an addictive personality. There's no doubt about it. But like the way I see it is like the older I get, the more likely all this shit is to kill me. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm pretty invincible.
Yo, listen. You guys I wish you guys could see his face. I'm actually recording this. It's going to be on YouTube. If you go to that clip and look at his face, he's dead serious. Like that, and this is the reason I love this guy, because he's actually not fucking around right now.
Oh, man.
But no, that's what gets me about drugs. And we'll get into I know I mentioned the Pepsi commercial. We'll get into that shit. But I hope you're in traffic, you motherfuckers, because you don't have anything better to do. But
obviously not. They're working 9 to 5.
Damn, like Dame Dash.
I'm sorry.
On the working man.
Come on. No, the working man is not a sucker.
The working man's
Let's
a sucker.
Be real.
Be honest. But we'll get into that also. But what are we talking about? Drugs?
Bronx
Never rat on your friends. But I'm the thing with why I've never tried drugs is. It took me till I was like, I think my first panic attack was when I was 8. I know I'm springing a lot on the people right now. I'm bumping this episode up. Like I said, it's episode 3. I had a whole fucking set of episodes, so this was going to be like episode 17, but I'm making this episode 3 because you mean that much to me. But so I'm springing. Yeah, hey, you earned it. So I'm springing a lot on the people right now that I didn't really get to roll them into. But fuck it, they'll catch up. So
Bro, not only will they catch up, like people identify. You know what I mean? It's
true,
like
true.
on with
But
real shit like that.
I'm just giving, as I keep feeling the need to reiterate, this is my personal diary. Like, if nobody listens to this shit, I'll be fine. Like, it'll make me happy just to get all this out of the way, because it's not enough tweets in the world or I don't.
And sometimes
Facebook
you just got to talk it out. And you know what?
Sure.
Look, therapy is great for a lot of people, but eventually it becomes self-perpetuating. So it's like sometimes it's just good to talk shit out. You know what I mean?
This is why.
Shit
See,
out
now you
friends.
guys see with this why I love this guy, and I mean that. But I had my first panic attack when I was 18. And I remember I was driving on the Southern State, and I'm driving. I don't know what it wasn't a pregnancy scare. I don't know what I was going through in my life that I was just fucked up over it. So I'm driving, I'm like, and I'm like, oh shit.
Feels like a heart attack.
I'm like, and I had a charger, the charger, and I'm like, oh, and I got the charger when I was 18. So I want to say it was just early. Like I just got it. So my first thought was like, oh shit, I don't want to die and crash my car. Like I was more concerned about like having a heart attack and crashing the car. So I pulled over on the fucking Southern State, and I was like, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I think I'm having a fucking heart attack. I was like one digit away from calling 911. Like I opened my phone, I went to it, I hit 9, I hit 1. And I didn't want to hit another 1 because I just got the iPhone and I wasn't sure if it was gonna dial it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, oh shit. So I didn't hit it. And I was like, oh fuck. I was like, all right, Bo, get yourself together. I made a looped around. I was headed to Queens to a unnamed suspect's house. So I looped around. You know, I drove to LIJ. And
okay.
I went to LIJ. Came back here to New Hyde Park, went to LIJ. And they were like, that was like the third question. I'll make a long story short. Obviously, I sat there for a second. And I made that was the third question. Are you on any drugs? And I'm like, what? No. Like, it was just so bugged out to me. I'm like, this is what happens when you do drugs? For some reason, that always stuck with me. And that's why I never tried drugs. And I didn't even drink. Like, I drink a beer or some shit.
Right.
Fucking around as kids, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I never even know hard alcohol, nothing. But that, for some reason, that stuck with me. So I correlated drugs with heart attacks. So I've never, like hard drugs, I always said like, and it was also to give a little backstory with that, it was a NBA prospect. I don't even know his name. You guys can fucking Google it if you want. He got drafted to the NBA out of college. He went to party that same night. He did 1 line of coke. He had a heart attack and died. That was all like playing into my brain.
Wow.
Yeah, like young. That was playing into my brain while I was like, yo, drugs.
That's a heart condition.
At the, now I'm like, fuck it. What's going to happen? But at the time, I'm like, oh, yep, it's true. Drugs are bad. Like, don't do them. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's great. That's the best, it's better than what health class does,
I feel like we have to do 5 episodes because it's a lot of shit. There's a lot of school shit. We talked about school earlier. It's a lot of school shit I want to get into, but we'll save that for another day. This won't be our only podcast.
For sure.
But I don't even know how we got into talking to drugs, but whatever. As I always said, well, not as I always said, as I always say, if I ever lose track, go to write us on Twitter at KingBoChrist, KingBoechrist, and we should give out your Twitter handle so they can take the slander. They can take the Spanish. All the Spanish people are going to be coming up to you slandering you. But go ahead. Oh my God. Yeah, that wasn't me. I'll show you guys the level. That wasn't me. Okay.
It's at That's Harrison. That's on Twitter and Insta.
Yeah, that's the same for me. So if we ever get too far off topic, shoot us a tweet or
Tag
something.
Tag me in anything interesting.
Yeah, right. So
any topic you want brought up, quinceañeros.
Oh, see, there you go. Oh, that we got to get into the Ja Rule app. I meant to. I have a whole outline of this shit, but I don't even know where that shit is. We're just going with the flow. But if we ever get too far off track, write us. Let us know we missed the point. I promise, as my word, we will go back and revisit that point. Like I would drive to this man's house, for a specific tweet to finish the point because we're just freestyling, like I said, 21 Savage mode. But anyway.
Unless you're an asshole.
Yo, listen, let me tell you something about the trolls. Like, I'll block you. I don't give a fuck. Like, I haven't blocked too many people, but I took a little bit of slander because I said Drake was the best. Drake was our version of Michael Jackson. And,
ooh.
Yeah, I said it. I don't care.
Ooh, I might have said,
No?
I don't know.
See,
I don't know.
We have so much to get into. I love this shit. I really do. We'll get into that. I want you guys to let that settle in. The Drake is Michael Jackson, because I'm going to fucking argue this point. I don't know how long we've been in this episode, but I will argue this point, and this will be a 5-hour fucking podcast. I'll have to put out parts 1 through 5, because if it takes me an hour, I'll make that point.
What do you mean 1 through 5? You're acting like people got shit to do at work.
True,
you know
true.
What I mean? You know how many people got union jobs, bro? Let's be realistic.
True. I'm glad you're on your lunch break enjoying us. I appreciate you tuning into the I Say
on your
That,
fucking 5-hour lunch break with your union job.
Eating a bologna sandwich with the soggy bread. You're a sicko.
You fucking Goomba.
See, that's the one thing we got to edit out. See, hey, listen, life happens fast. Anyway, back to the Kylie Jenner. Back to the Pepsi.
Is that what we're going back to?
I don't know. We're just going
sure,
at this point. Because we've been jabbing at it for a while with Pepsi. I get what they were trying to do, and I'm not vouching for what they did. I get how it's controversial.
Do you feel like it was for shock value though? Do you feel like they were well aware and they just kind of wanted it to be trolled to be like, oh, Pepsi, like for it to ring that many times in everybody's ears? Because I in a way, I feel like that was well played.
I'm going to make an additional video to this, but
I think Questlove tweeted some shit about like just being like, ooh, ultimate troll Pepsi, like well played, some shit like that.
I don't think that Pepsi was trolling.
But also, that being said, like, I have one question for, what's her name? Kendall Jenner? Is that the one in the video?
Kylie's the one with the lips. I think it is Kendall.
It's Kendall that's in the video? Yeah, just one question. What? That's it. That's it. That's literally it.
That just threw me for a loop. I didn't see that coming. He didn't play that. That was awesome. I don't think they were trolling. If you want my opinion, that's gonna be the sample. If you want my opinion, remember when I mean, it's been probably 200 counts where black people were killed by the police, obviously, as we know.
At least.
And I want to get into that also. I want to touch on that, but we'll save that for now. So I could stay, we won't stray too far off.
We'll close with the solving racism.
Right, there you go. But I remember at the Black Lives Matter rallies and all these rallies of where men were killed, they were showing footage of black dudes going up to police officers as almost like a peace treaty and giving them water. Do you remember that? A black guy there was a guy going around and getting hugs and shit. He was like, "Yo, can I have a hug?"
Yeah.
That I think they were going for that angle. You know what I mean? But I think where they fucked up is just hear me out. I think where they fucked up
is that Kylie's not black.
They used a Kardashian period. They used a Kardashian to pull people into it. I think they should have just, if they wanted to really get that message across.
Well, hold up.
Shoot.
How much credibility does the OJ trial continue to hold? Does that pass down generation to generation, or
no? Listen,
or is that just lost?
The Kardashians can take all the black dick they want. They're not. They don't speak for us. I'm sorry. Like it doesn't.
It doesn't matter. They got OJ off.
Pretty much. Like, hey, listen. It doesn't.
All right. Hey,
that doesn't
transfer to generation.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It doesn't.
All right.
So I think that's what they were going for. That same, I know it's crazy. I think they were going for that, but they used the Jenner to make public. They should have just took a regular, the girl that was standing in New Orleans face to face with the cop. They arrested her. They should have used her, had her give the cop a water. Everyone would have loved Pepsi. Would have been flying off the fucking shelves.
Why would they love Pepsi if she gave him a water?
I mean, you know what? That's what you
gave him a Pepsi.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Okay, I got you.
If they took the girl from that was actually in the protests, like I think that would have been.
I feel like that would have been equally as offensive.
first of all, the girl would have took the fucking check. Let's not. It's
Yeah, of course. Let's not
100%.
play like
100%.
money
She would
fucking
not have
talks
turned that
at the
down.
end of the day.
So right,
but like morally, I don't.
There's no
think
morals.
that would be...
She already took the check. So if she took the check and she gave them up, she walked up to the like. So say this girl. I don't know her name. I feel like I should Google it, but I don't want to waste the time. I know that's fucked up.
Sure.
I have Black Lives Matter hashtags fucking adding me, telling me I'm a coon. But but I think they should have.
Clarence Thomas.
Yes, word. Hey, I'm not Ben
Uncle
Carson.
Tom.
Don't call me Ben Carson, because that's where I draw the goddamn line. All right, I'll block your ass for calling me Ben Carson. Call me anything else. but call me Madam C.J. Walker. Just don't call me fucking Ben Carson.
Dick Cheney.
But
Bryant Gumbel.
yeah, where see, this is Walter Cronkite. But
all right, I'm sorry. It's so wrong on so many levels.
no, this is good for us. This is really this is honestly what would be happening without microphones. Just so you guys know. But in all seriousness, I think if they would have taken that girl and had her do it, it would have been like, wow, that was a good commercial. I think it would have been taken. I know it's just my theory. These are not, these are not concrete. Obviously, we can go on what ifs forever.
Look, here's my issue with it. It's like, I don't care what girl you hire for it to portray and pretend like you can walk up to a cop in a riot with a can of soda without getting shot in your face is just misleading if you're black.
You think
let's
so?
be real. Would you try it?
Would I walk up to a cop with
just a Pepsi, just holding it out like that? Just holding it out.
Not a chance. Like, I wouldn't even reach for my cell phone.
That's what I'm saying.
So
you have both hands, fingers widespread in plain sight.
That would have never. And I'm a pretty nice guy. I consider myself a good guy. If I saw a cop and I had a fucking cooler full of waters, I wouldn't be like, oh, maybe he wants one. Like, I'm not that kind of guy. Like, if I get pulled over, yes sir, no sir, do your thing. I don't want to. Let's not ruffle any feathers here. If you're gonna give me the ticket, give it to me. If you're not, I appreciate that. Have a good day. You go your. I don't try anything extra.
That reminds me. Do you remember the time? Obviously, you have to. That we were harassed by like a lot of police. By a lot of police.
Can we say his name, Officer Stewart? Can I say it?
Officer Stewart. Wait, Sergeant Barbieri. Go fuck yourself. If you're not, wait. If you're not listening, do me a favor. Somebody reach out to him and tell him to go fuck himself.
I forgot about that. See, wow. I thought the.
And if he's dead, piss on his grave. Fuck him.
Just him, not all police, because we still need. No, man.
I just want to throw out a blanket statement. Maybe we could say like I don't know, 6th precinct.
Nah, listen. I'm gonna tell you. I met some good old.
There's some.
I met some good cop friends.
There's okay. There's some that are okay.
There's a lot of.
There's a lot of cognitive dissonance with the people. I don't even
know what that
cops.
means. You using big words. You gotta. What is that? See, he turned into T.I. now with
right,
cognitive What is it? What the fuck does that mean?
All right, no. So basically, it just means like inner conflict. So like there may be good people that are cops, but no true to the law by the book cops are good people. You know what I mean? It's like when the laws are so like, I would not be able. Look, if I was a cop, I would not be able to abide by the rules and literally and live with myself and sleep at night and look myself in the mirror. Like that's how crazy. Fucked things are. So like you could say there's good people that are cops, but are they? Are they? You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you're not standing up for what the fuck is right, then you're a piece of shit. I don't care how nice you are personally. That's how I feel.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Actually made, now that you clarified that, there's something to that. And I want to also, I wanted to be a cop. And I took the NYPD test.
Sure.
They called me in for an interview. I didn't go because I didn't want to shave my beard. This was as recent as 2 years ago. I'm
Okay.
like, and I, I was with my wife, and she was like, I just don't see this for you, and I'm like, no, I want to do it. And she was like, do you pursue your dreams? But she was being honest with me, like, I don't see this for you. I don't know. And I was, she was like, why do you want to be a cop? And I'm like, like that simple question. I was like, good question.
Right. Salary, benefits, because it's certainly not to protect and serve.
No,
Let's be
but
realistic.
I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth here. This is, and real quick, a sidebar. I'm going to make all my guests go under oath before they come into this podcast because we don't do alternative facts here, And don't swear to God, swear to me.
Yeah.
So,
like, yeah.
I don't have, but I don't have to do that to you because I've known you.
Yeah.
I've known you.
And I know there's nothing more ridiculous to swear on than the Holy Bible. So,
but
we're gonna tackle Islam next.
Sure. Everyone, nobody's safe. But a quick sidebar. I realized, like, I'm like, shit, I want to become a cop to carry a gun. And because I watched Training Day and I thought it was cool. That's the God's honest truth. Like, I saw Training Day and I'm like, I mean, obviously I'm not going to have a fucking shootout on Middle Neck Road. But I saw it and I'm like, yo, if you can do that as a detective, like, that's where I want to be. And it was something about that, his swagger. I know we're talking about a movie, but I'm just being honest. I'm like, yo, I would be a fucking cop. And I took the NYPD test. And damn, and when they told, when it was like, oh shit, this actually might be real. I was going to go for it, and it would have been for 100% all the wrong reasons. So I can't speak for all police officers. And then I'm not saying there's not. I got fucking pulled over for expired inspection. It was a woman, actually. She let me breathe. Like, she was
a lady cop.
Yeah, word out. Wee. It's that little song, Lil Wayne song, but like a cop call. But she let me breathe, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, she didn't look at me like, what are you up to? Where are you coming from? Like, she was just like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh shit, that did expire, didn't it? It was like 2 weeks.
And she let you slide?
No, she didn't ask for ID or anything. She let me breathe. So I'm not saying, not all people are bad. Not all cops are bad.
I don't know.
I mean, there's something to this.
It's a lady cop. I feel like there's like I don't know.
You think it's different?
Also, just real quick, side note, let's take a Twitter poll. What % of lady cops do you think like
I'll
dick?
do that right now.
What % of lady cops do you think like dick? Let's be real here. Because I feel like most of them roll their own tampons. You know what I mean?
Wow, you a savage.
Kickstart their own dildos. Real diesel bitches. Real Home Depot bitches. You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't really, and I'm not just saying that because we're on record. Like I said, no alternative facts on the I Say That to Say This podcast, but I didn't really size her up. Like, I didn't really look at her, you know what I mean? And I'm not just saying that because my wife is probably listening, but the God's honest truth, I don't remember what she looked like. I'm trying to think of all the female cops.
It's hard to when you got that flashlight in your face.
When your fucking face is in the ground and the knee is in your neck. But I don't know. We gotta do a Twitter poll. When this airs, I'm gonna actually do a Twitter poll. We're gonna see what's up. You know what we should do? We'll do it even better. I want to get a female cop in here. Well, I don't know with you though, because she'll shoot your ass if you. And you know what's crazy? If she shot you, it wouldn't even make the news. If she blinks the wrong way at me, it's on CNN. But you, nobody's gonna hear about it.
Me?
What? You white. Nobody cares when cops shoot, unless it's a black cop. Then maybe it's a news story.
What are you talking about, bro? Like whenever a white person fucking gets shot, like I don't know what you're talking about.
Nobody cares about white guys being shot by cops. It happens. I'm sure it happens.
Nah, you're right. You're right.
Think about
someone I grew up with is a cop and literally shot someone dead like a couple blocks from here, and just had to like sit at the desk for like 3 weeks or whatever.
There you go. And
yeah,
he paid
I
time
think it was.
off.
I think it was in like one. I think it was in like the. Should I say? It was in the local. It was in the local newspaper, not even like Newsday or New York Times or whatever.
The shit you get it.
Yeah, like the shit that's like right.
CVS or whatever.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Okay.
The real local shit.
But that's what I'm saying. You guys can look up the statistics. White people get shot by police too. It's just not a good story. So she would shoot your ass. I was saying all that to say, don't fuck around with her.
Well, no, I shouldn't say is it as common. Like per capita, like percentage wise, I'm sure that a larger percent of black people get shot by police than white people. I'm pretty comfortable mouthing off to a cop. I mean, I know you know this.
That's what I'm saying.
I've
seen you get pretty close to that red line, as they say, with the police, and I was like, oh shit, he's gonna get us killed. You know, I wasn't even thinking like they're gonna shoot me. I'm like, no, they're actually gonna shoot a white guy if he keeps.
Don't get carried away now.
If he keeps this shit up. But anyway, off of the police subject, we'll get back into some other shit. Ja Rule's Fire app.
What is this?
You are not familiar with it.
No.
And I feel so. We talked about when people. You ever? I don't know if you guys. I mean, I'm sure it's happened when your friends find a song and they're like, "I put you onto this shit."
I knew about them before anybody. Before they were famous.
I found them on YouTube in 2008. Nobody knew about this but me.
When they had 1 view. But I was their third fan.
But Ja Rule is dabbling in tech. He was at the South by Southwest 2017 convention.
So is Chris though. So is Chris Gotti. He's got that adventure music shit.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's crazy about Chris Gotti? I watched an 1.5-hour interview on him, and I never fucking watch anything long. Any clip longer than 4 minutes ain't happening. I watched the whole interview, and I had like a new respect for him. I think he's from what I see in videos. I don't know him personally, but I think he's an okay guy. Now go ahead and slander him because I can see your face.
No. Look. You know that like I've worked with the whole Murda crew for a while. Like, look, this is all I'm gonna say, and no disrespect by this, because I think that you know everyone involved with Murda is just upstanding gentlemen, but
even Ashanti with those sideburns. But go ahead.
It's getting a little crazy. Bitch nearly got a goatee. Ever since Nelly left, I swear. Look, it's time. This is just my humble opinion.
Oh boy.
It's time to drop the Gotti name. It doesn't do. Look.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
Irving
Irving
and Chris Lorenzo, like, be proud of your heritage. Be proud of your legacy. Be proud of who you are. If for nothing else, if like, okay, let's say fuck all that. Be proud of who you are individually. You know what I mean? Rather than there's so many people that take the name of reincarnated fucking gangster, fucking Sheik Luch, Freeway, 50 Cent, Rick Ross.
Wow,
these aren't people. These are people that existed before them, and you just don't know about them because they weren't fucking mainstream rappers. So the thing is like, Gotti, let's be realistic. Like, he was a fucking maniac, degenerate gambler. Like, what are you trying to emulate? Like, what you seen Goodfellas and The Godfather, and so you want to call, like, what is it? Like, do you know what like real fucking spaghetti fucking eating gindaloons are like? Like, let's be realistic.
That's a fucking...
I'd rather eat some fucking sancocho with some Puerto Ricans than deal with some bobbleheaded fucking gindaloons like the Gottis.
That's
like,
a
let's
good
be
fucking
realistic.
point. I didn't
here.
see that coming.
Let's be realistic.
So you think, and we're gonna get into the Fire app. I know I've been dancing around this for a while, but so you think he should get rid of it?
I don't even know what it is. What is it?
What, the Gotti?
No, the Fire app.
Oh no, I'm saying we're gonna get into that. I mean, you think he should get rid of drop the Gotti? Both of them.
Yeah, I do. I think it would they'd be taken more seriously.
There's a
Because
point to that.
look, in my opinion, like, I'm sorry, like John Gotti, like, I don't. I know everyone respects him as like the, you know, capo de capo, whatever, like, you know, man fucking earned his stripes, this and that. Like, okay, I'll give him credit. He was a gangster, but like, he died in jail. Bro, okay, the rapper Scarface. I'm sorry, did he not see the end of that movie? Like, let's be real. Like, if you're gonna fucking emulate somebody, like, let's emulate some people that are doing their shit right.
That's a fucking good point. That's a great point. And to that, you know, obviously, Jesus Christ, and obviously, as King Bo Christ is, you know, entertainment purposes. But part of me wishes I never had a nickname. You know, they've been calling me Bo since a baby. You know, I'm junior, so you know, it came with the package. Part of me wished that I never had a nickname because people would call me by my name. Like people would call me Carlton. You know what I'm saying? I love it's an ill name if you ask me. Like all Fresh Prince aside, I think it's an ill name. So if no one ever called me that, like I would go by my name. But you know, I've been called my nickname so long it's become a part of me. So I always thought that was weird how people come up with these nicknames out of figures. You know, like what was fucking in Training Day, like I just mentioned, Lorenzo was his name, right? Like imagine I was like Lorenzo Bo or some shit like that. I always thought that was very weird to just take make a caricature, whatever the fuck it is,
Yeah,
and run with that,
right? To take on a perceived persona,
sure.
Like rather than like kind of understanding the culture, because it's like, look, in all seriousness, like the streets are like, as far as you know, as far as hip hop is concerned, is like still operates very, very differently than I mean, a lot of the you know, organized crime has become legitimized over the years, but like it still operates very differently. It's just like it's very much like kind of this posery, like, oh, what we see in movies. Like we love fucking, you know, Scorsese and Stone films, and so it's like it's almost in the same way that a lot of these hip hop dudes would look at, like, let's say white suburban kids trying to emulate them. So it's almost like this 3 times removed, which I'm not saying, oh, that's wrong, because like fuck those kids, but like it's like 3 times removed. It's like kids trying to emulate these dudes, trying to emulate these fucking morons.
Okay, that makes sense. And you told me something. I don't know how long ago it was, but you said, I don't know what we were doing, but you said to me, you know who the best gangsters are? And I said, who? And you said, nobody knows. And it's just some simple shit you said to me, and it always stuck with me. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, you're absolutely right. Like the motherfuckers nobody knows are the truest gangsters. So that makes a lot of sense. That was a good sidebar.
Like word to the wise. Like yeah, like stop the bullshit. It's like, if you want to know why you're getting fucking cracked down on, like maybe like drop the fucking rims and the tints and the fucking and the flashy shit. You know what I mean? It's like the realest, most hardcore motherfuckers I know. I'm talking about, like, actually, I'm not even gonna, but the realest, most hardcore dudes I know are riding around in everything stock.
That's
everything stocked. No tints, no fucking, no bullshit, no flashy shit.
Sure.
And you'd never know. And that's the fucking beauty of it.
No license and dealer plates, but you never. But that's I think a lot of that shit is the credit. Like, a lot of that, they want the notoriety of it. You know what I'm saying? So I see these fucking up and coming rappers flashing guns on Instagram, and I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. What's wrong with you? Why would you?
Well,
Why would you do that?
There's that, but it's also, I feel like it's become okay because, and don't get me wrong, I've definitely have a thing on Instagram of me shooting a gun, but
Allegedly.
Oh no, I'll say like I do not give a fuck, like straight up civil disobedience, do not give a fuck. I am a firearm enthusiast. Come at me, bro. Straight up, come at me, bro. Try me. Nah. I totally just lost track of what I was saying.
We were talking about
flashing
guns on Instagram, and you said you have a picture.
Right.
Of
I mean, yeah, no, I've definitely done that, but it's doing that in like the posing way. There's so many people that, like, I've known so many people that have gotten guns and get so like geeked up about it that like they're itching to fucking pull the trigger. Like they're just like, they just want to pull it out. It's like, dude, it's so dangerous. Like, it's so dangerous. It's literally more dangerous than it's ever been, because you have a generation of cowards once or twice removed from the street, and they're dying for a chance to prove themselves. You know what I mean? They're dying for a chance to get credibility. And so that's like, it's fucked up.
I think it's more, you know, I think that's how they think things blossom these days. I think they think it comes from one viral clip. So instead of, you know, that'd be like us sitting here and saying, like, I know when you say the things you say, you mean them. And when I say the shit I say, we mean them. So I think it'd be more of like if we were just sitting around here, like, you know, when we were fucking around in the beginning, like, let's talk about abortions. Like, I think it's that same concept. Like, you're fucking around, obviously, but they're like, wait, that could work. There's something to that. You know what I mean? So it's that same, it's just where the world is that people feel like they don't realize that these things stick with you.
There's that, right. There's such a stigma, and it sticks with you. And also, half these people are perpetuating a stereotype, because let's be realistic. Like, it's perpetuated like largely in the hip hop community, like through you know, like talk of fucking drug dealing and toting guns. And it's just like, if you're about that, then you're not talking about that. So like, let's stop perpetuating a negative stereotype to people that literally don't even understand it, because like the people that like get that they're just talking aren't the people that are buying and listening to that shit and playing that shit. You know what I mean? Those people are in flyover states and bumblefuck. We don't even know where.
100%.
And they're learning how to dab right now. You know what I mean? That shit is scary, bro.
True. But
and mind you, they know how to work guns better than anybody rapping about them.
Now that's definitely the key. They've you know, there was a big wave after Soulja Boy's interview with the Draco. I seen this, you know, you see shit and I'm like, oh, now everybody has a fucking Draco. You know what I'm saying? Like, Draco stock was going up, and I'm like, there's so many fucking poses out here that a guy mentions a Soulja Boy, so that says everything he needs to say. He mentions a fucking gun and everybody goes and gets it. You know, and it really, like,
it's the same thing with like all the guns that have been mentioned in rap songs. Let's be real. Beretta, Glock, Smith & Wesson. It's like, those are the most expensive. Colt. Those are the most expensive name brand gun. When it's just like, okay, let's be realistic. Listen, people, if you're interested in getting a Glock, you should look into Heckler and Koch or Walter.
But they don't, even with watches. What's a classic? You know, as soon as you mention a watch, you know, to a open mind, you know, a young influential kid, he's gonna say Rolex just because the rappers do it, and I'm like, well, it's probably 35 other watches you could have named that are probably better. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with Rolex.
Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, like let's get.
That's what I'm saying. But even those, you know what I mean, like. You know, that fucking Future and Uzi Patek Philippe, the plain one. There's too much sauce. After that, I swear I'm seeing fucking
too
fake
much sauce
Patek Philippe's on Instagram, and I'm like, bro, you don't have $14,000 for that watch. Like, I know that shit is from Canal Street if they still sell them there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's the same concept of posing and people wanting, I don't know, the look without the consequences.
That's what it is. You know what? And everything's become so seemingly inconsequential. You know, from basically all the whole. I mean, this whole era of not to categorize it, but mumble rap and drill rap and like all this shit where it's like, okay. I mean, look, some of it stems from like real gang culture. And when I say real gang culture, I mean real senseless, ignorant, nonsense, bullshit, fucking killing, you know what I mean? Killing your own fucking people, like, not like some gang culture, like, oh, that's some gangster shit. Like, no, on some real fucking ignorant, like, kill your own type shit. You know what I mean?
The drill rap, that Chicago shit, is definitely real. Like, it's definitely...
It's real. Their murder rate is fucking through the roof.
Right, so...
Also, P.S., that's what gun control looks like.
There you have it, kids. But in all seriousness, like, their shit, and that's what gets me with Chicago rappers, is they're actually living it. And I'm like, this is not like... I don't want to say it's not okay, because that's the obvious answer. But I'm like, when does the shit stop? You know what I mean? When, you know, we at some point in rap and in the hip hop culture, we always want everyone to be real. We want it to be authentic. We want people to live their raps. But with that shit, I'm like, all right, where's the line? Like, you know, what's the next shit? You're actually killing someone in your music videos? Like,
you don't. Well, you know what? It like the closest parallel I can draw to it is like, you know, like Compton, like the West Coast in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s even. And you know, up until like the whole truce and like it took rappers getting involved, like it took a whole bunch of shit, Farrakhan, Tupac, all this shit. But that's the closest parallel. And even so, as fucked up as this sounds, in that gang culture, it was still semi-organized crime. The motive was still money. It's not like that anymore.
You know what? I want to get into that too.
Literally still, like, there's no. It's not about money anymore.
Fuck that fire app. I want to get into that. This is gonna.
All right, hold up. I have had to take a piss for like 10 minutes.
No. Do you think so? See, if this is the point where I wish I had ads and I'd pay some bills right now. But we're gonna take a quick intermission.
Fucking Tanqueray,